What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Halo Halo. Now, see my guest right here. You've seen him before, Markie Mark. What up, man?
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
The first time being in the Halo Halo segment where we actually eating Halo Halo. This is
right?
pretty dope.
Right?
Yeah.
What did you put more of? What's your favorite ingredient, though, that you got?
About that cocoa.
About the
cocoa life, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get one more, actually. That nata de coco life, yo.
And as you can see, we finished the sketch. We did some horror sketch. Horror, it's not really horror. But Markie likes horror, not horror, but Markie likes kind of the serial killer documentaries. We're just chilling, but like, what was the first one that really really touched you? Really inspired you
in many ways.
Yeah, inspired you to watch more. Because I feel like there's maybe one documentary that maybe like inspired your craving to watch a lot of it. You know?
Honestly, I don't even know where it started. I think it started even in university days.
Oh no!
Like when I was studying in like engineering and stuff. Like, you know, when you're studying and you're like, it's like long hours of studying, or you're like in the computer for long hours, and it gets kind of lonely if you're just there, but like, you know, music can only do so much. So I used to have like just like running stuff on YouTube just in the background. So I don't know, man. It just like from one to another, kind of sprung you from one documentary to another. You're just putting it in the background, listening. I think it keeps you on edge just because of stuff that they've done. I'm like, normally you wouldn't think of doing it that way, or how would you feel doing it? So you just kind of get curious as to like, okay, like, you know, like who's the worst of them? So you kind of keep watching every famous like infamous like serial killers to see which one is the worst, and it just gets you into this dark rabbit hole of just like, wow, like there's people actually capable of doing this. Like we're like one of the few species in the world that would do this to each other. Like, you know, monkeys don't do this
like
to each
cereal,
other.
Like
kill each other, and like, you know, like for the sake of pleasure, sadistic, like, you know, like sexual fantasies. Like I think we're one of the only rare creatures, like animals in the world, that would do this to each other. So that's kind of where the curiosity came from.
And that's where kind of my idea for that sketch came from too. When I thought, let's just do one. He's talking about pleasure. We're eating pleasurable sugar in our mouth. But I know you've watched a ton of them. I remember you were telling me you watched a lot of documentaries. The only one that, for me, what scares me is more like demons and stuff, right? Demons. Conjuring is scary. I love Conjuring. But serial killers are a different level because it's like a slasher, but it's realistic, right? And some of those serial killers, like, you would never know that they are, right? Some of them are the most like the Ted Bundy one. He's like so like presentable. He's like a ladies' man. He's like charming, right? What have you like anything that you've like kind of summarized about? That you like, if you look at someone because you watch so much of these, like you're like, oh, this person has potential to be.
You'll see the different kind of serial killers. So I think the two that really, the easiest way to kind of categorize them is there are ones who are aware of like their obsessive compulsion and urges to kill. They're aware that there's something wrong about them, and they're aware of all the things they think that there's something wrong about them and something evil. They're aware of it. It's more so they've been trying to kind of control it, and they were trying to kind of, you know, keep it just within their thoughts. But it's just this one, like once they kind of fall off the edge of one, and they just kind of, you know, it's one of those like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm gonna like, you know, do this and do that. And then once you kind of fall off the edge of that, and you're like, well, you know, I couldn't do it, I stopped, you know, and I enjoy this more, this is more of my nature. And then you just kind of get into that rabbit hole. I think it's this kind of, those kind of serial killers are more I guess they're not as kind of crazy in the sense of like the crimes that are committed, they're sane, right? And then there's those ones that keeps denying it and just kind of, you know, it wasn't me, I didn't do that, or like, you know, someone else like kind of possessed me. There's different kind of, or like, you know, someone came to me and like, you know, wouldn't take accountability for the action. So like certain like even on Ted Bundy's case, like it took him until his last day before he was executed and to finally admit of the stuff that he does, and but then he wouldn't even take accountability for it. He was blaming porn, he was blaming his parents, his upbringing, or like the society that he grew up in, right? So whereas cases like Jeffrey Dahmer, he was aware of all these things that was wrong about him. He was trying to control his urges, and like he was trying to control all these compulsion and fantasies he had, but it just came to a point where he just couldn't control it, and he kind of just gave into it. Right, so when he was caught, he was didn't really fight or did anything. He just kind of, yep, you caught me, and like, you know, it's like finally this could stop now, right? So it's just really interesting, and like a lot of it really factors in, you know, it comes with like, there's a nature side of things with genetics, but there's also the nurture side of things. So like there was like this documentary of this psychologist that was analyzing it. He was saying that your nature loads the gun. So if you have like, let's say like
Loads the gun.
Nature loads the gun, but nurture pulls the trigger. That's what he's saying. So like you could have parents that have certain genetics of chemicals imbalances in their brains that kind of loads you to be able to be capable of certain type of evil or heinous acts. But the nurture of how you were raised, how you were, is the trigger that kind of pulls you to be able to. Because there's many people that grew up in really with certain situations, but it was the parents, the family, the friends that they had that really kept them from being able to do any sort of heinous acts or go off the edge. Right?
Yeah, called the society kind of like put them in like a good mindset.
Yeah.
So basically, so weird talking about this while we're eating like pleasurable food, like halo. But like to that point, it's basically what you said. So for example, if you have diabetes, right? Nature, like let's say you have diabetes.
Yeah.
But then nurture, like this, I'm presenting you with all these with all these sugary foods. So the moment you eat all these sugary foods, like nature dictates that like sugar might be something bad for you, but until you're in that situation where it kind of pushes you to the edge, right? And then I'm not trying to.
It's true.
I'm not trying to.
No, like it's very prominent in our culture, right?
Yeah.
Like my mom has diabetes, so it's like
Same.
we're meant to have diabetes, so it's like, well, you know what you have a loaded gun on you. It's
We're aware.
It's what you do with your lifestyle now, right?
Yeah.
So like, are you gonna keep
Eating halo,
right? Like, so that's where it comes in, right? So.
That's it. So hey, that's it for Halo Halo. We're just gonna enjoy our Halo Halo while we talk about diabetes, and hopefully, did you ever check your blood sugar? Do you know if you're diabetic? I mean, it's important to check your health.
Checked.
Yeah, you should get it. I should get it checked.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll change this segment.
We're in that age now where we gotta worry about our health.
Yeah. Should we change these ingredients to more wholesome, like organic?
Organic, nothing.
Organic. Is this ice? Is this ice healthy enough for us? Should we get more like organic ice or something?
Spring water, ice.
There you go, guys. Markie, thank you for being here on Halo Halo, and I hope you enjoyed the Halo Halo that we made for you so far, courtesy of Filipino TV and Halo Halo right here. When we come back, we have some more sketches of a cinematic sketch on this episode. But hey, that's it for now. Enjoy your Halo Halo if you have some, and take care.